Hello, I'm Porschia Parker Griffin, and I want to welcome you to the Career 101 podcast, a place for ambitious professionals and seasoned executives who want an edge in their career. We're talking about all of the things you were never taught or told when it comes to career growth, development, and change. Now, let's get into it.
Getting laid off can feel disorienting, especially when you've worked hard to build your career. We've helped hundreds of professionals navigate this exact moment. We'll walk you through the 3 most important things to do immediately after a layoff so you can regain control, protect your confidence, and make your next move strategically, not emotionally. If you don't know me, I'm Porschia of Fly High Coaching, where we've helped thousands of executives and professionals soar to their full potential in their careers. Most professionals make at least one of these mistakes in their first 2 weeks after a layoff, and it can cost them months in their job search. If you jump straight into applying online, you're likely doing it wrong. What you do in the first 30 days after a layoff often determines the quality of your next role. Let's break down what actually works. The first thing you want to do is you want to stabilize first, emotionally and financially. You can't make good career decisions from a place of panic. Pause before you react. Being laid off is actually a traumatic event. There can be trauma around a layoff. There's also an aspect of grief that is often overlooked when it comes to being laid off. So you want to normalize any of these potentially negative emotions that you're having. So shock, anger, or fear, especially for senior professionals who might feel like they've dedicated even more of their lives to a specific job or company. It's important for you to remember that layoffs are often organizational and not personal. There's so many reorgs, restructurings, sizings, so many terms for doing layoffs that are going on right now. And a lot of them have nothing to do with you personally. As part of stabilizing, you want to get clarity on your severance package, your benefits, and the timelines of the layoff. So understand your health insurance, bonuses, stock options, how long you're going to have severance pay for, all of those things. This is going to help you to calculate your financial runway, meaning your buffer time, and this can help to reduce any urgency that you might feel around making decisions. And again, reduce any panic that you might feel. So do you have a financial runway of 3 months, 6 months, 2 years? That's what you want to calculate, figure out for yourself. This will help you to create what we call a short-term stability plan. And this is a 30 to 60-day plan of what's going on in your life financially. So what expenses can be paused or reduced for different services that you use, products that you use, subscriptions that you have. Also, you want to think about what is your minimum acceptable timeline for landing your next role. If you want help structuring your job search the smart way, download our free Smart Job Seekers Guide linked below. Finally, you want to protect your professional identity. You don't want to internalize the layoff as a personal failure of yours. Instead, you want to reframe this mindset from thinking like my value is ended or there's something wrong with me. Instead of that, you want to think about this role has ended. Okay, that's a mindset shift for you. Executives who stabilize themselves first make smarter and higher compensation moves in the future. The second thing you want to do is you want to get strategic, not busy. Activity is not progress. Strategy wins. So how can you be strategic about your next steps? Something that you don't want to do. You do not want to just immediately start applying for dozens of jobs for a few reasons. One, online applications, they have a low conversion rate, especially at the senior levels and executive levels. You're competing with hundreds of other people online for roles. So the competition is very stiff, especially if you don't have an in, if they don't know you. Also, applying too early locks you into outdated positioning. Usually when someone's like, oh my gosh, I got to just start applying, they haven't redone their resume. They haven't looked at or updated their LinkedIn profile. They might not even have a cover letter, and they're just, again, applying out of panic. We recommend, especially for people who are professionals that have substantial career experience, that you have your resume professionally redone. ChatGPT is not good enough. I talk to executives all the time who are trying to duplicate their resume with ChatGPT, and they're not getting results, to be honest with you.
The Career 101 podcast is brought to you by Fly High Coaching, where we help our clients soar to their full potential. More and more professionals and executives are setting out to achieve their career goals. But without the right support, it can be difficult, if not impossible. Whether you need career coaching, interview coaching, or a program with a professional resume and a LinkedIn makeover, we're here to help. Could your career use some 911? It's not uncommon for executives and professionals to feel a little overwhelmed, stuck, or confused when it comes to their career or income. There are other people who want to know how to ramp up their success, consistently achieve their goals, and make a bigger impact. After hundreds of clients came to me with the same issues, I started recording the patterns for the Career 911 Masterclass, solving the top 5 challenges executives and professionals have. In the free masterclass, I share the exact strategies our clients use to tackle the top 5 problems. Check out the link in our show notes.
You want to clarify your next move and the criteria for that. So what is the scope of the role that you want? What is the level of responsibility or hierarchy? Is this a manager level, leadership, director, senior director, C-suite? You want to get clear on that targeting because, again, that's going to affect your positioning with all of your professional branding documents. You want to have a good idea of the compensation that you're looking for, the company culture that you want to work in, and the level of flexibility that you want to have in your next role. Do you want to be remote? Do you want to have a hybrid role? Do you want to be in person? Do you want to travel? These are all things that you should consider. And you want to think about all of these things so that you can decide what you will not tolerate in your next role. Once you've done those things, you can audit your personal brand. So back to the resume, your LinkedIn profile, and your overall executive narrative. So if you have a bio, for example, all of these documents need to be aligned. A big mistake is people just kind of copying and pasting their resume into their LinkedIn profile. You don't want to do that. A lot of people don't align their documents with where they're going. Instead, it focuses so much on where they've been in the past. And when you're thinking about your documents, you can ask yourself the question, can you clearly articulate your value in 30 seconds in an interview when you're talking to someone? Is that value clearly articulated when someone does a 5 to 10 second glance of your documents? You also want to define your target list. And so your target lists are the list of ideal companies, industries, and roles that you want. Get very clear on what those things are, because this will help to make networking and outreach more focused and also more credible. You can create a great rapport and relationship with the people that you're networking with once you have clarity around your target list. The best roles are rarely won by people who are just open to anything. They go to the people who are strategic. The third thing that is important for you to do is to activate the right support system. Career transitions are not meant to be navigated alone. So you want to tell the right people strategically. Okay, so think about the people in your network, former leaders, peers that you worked with, board members, people in professional associations that you know, other trusted contacts. And when you reach out to these people, you've done your pre-work. So you've already aligned your personal branding documents. You've already gotten clear on the types of roles that you're looking for, your non-negotiables. So when you are ready to share with people that you have been laid off, you're sharing a clear message about what you're exploring in the future. You're already thinking about the solution and future focusing. You also want to leverage professional support. I talk a lot about this. I have podcast episodes on what I call a career support system. So these are professionals who understand hiring at your level of the roles that you're targeting. Your family members, your friends, sometimes even your coworkers, they can offer emotional support, but not really market insight into the job market, into the industries, into the strategies that you need. They're there to support you personally. Also, your family members and your friends are often very biased. They see you in a certain way. Generally, they love you. They think everything that you do is great. They think everything is perfect as it is. And a lot of times they don't offer constructive criticism. And then even when they do, it's not coming from a place of a professional. You want to also consider getting expert guidance very early. Working with career coaches, executive recruiters or executive search consultants, other industry insiders can be really helpful. I know that it's very tempting to think that we can do everything on our own, especially with AI. But I just had a conversation with an executive who's been out of work for 2 years, almost 3 at this point. He was really frustrated. He told me, I've done everything that people tell me to do on social media. I've had my resume professionally redone. And I use ChatGPT to customize it for every job. And I'm not getting any interviews. This is not uncommon, guys. And so this is why you want to get this expert guidance early, because honestly, you can just do the math. How many years worth of salary has this executive missed out on trying to piece this whole thing together himself when he could have invested in working with a coach and potentially had a job by now? Another mindset shift here is you want to shift from job seeker to problem solver. Conversation should focus on how you add value, not what you need. And this is when you're out there networking and then also in your interviews. This mindset is so important because it attracts opportunities rather than chases them. This mindset attracts opportunities rather than chasing them. Most senior roles come through relationships, not job boards. So to quickly recap, first, after a layoff, you want to stabilize before you react. Second, you want to get strategic instead of staying busy. Third, you want to activate the right support system. A layoff can feel like the end of a chapter, but for many professionals, it becomes the turning point that leads to a better role, better alignment, and better leadership opportunities if you handle this moment correctly. If you want a smarter, more structured approach to your next move, we've created a smart job seeker's guide to achieving success for professionals navigating this transition. You can download it below.
This episode was brought to you by the Bravebird Career Alliance, the go-to membership designed for seasoned executives and ambitious professionals with everything you need for career planning, strategy, training, and support. Thank you again for listening to the Career 101 podcast. I hope you have at least one key takeaway that you can use in your own career. If you enjoyed hanging out with us, please rate, subscribe, and share this podcast. Until next time, here's to your success.